Oh, welcome back. Right, it has been a very interesting week so far from the F.C.T elections and also to order Horda in River State and Kano elections, which has played out. And joining me to talk about the election matters right now is Barrister Joseph Mekwunye, and he'll be helping us both make sense with what has played out in the course of the weekend. Barrister, it's a delight to have you on Correro.
Good evening, Gordon. Nice to be here once again. Good evening, viewers.
Well, Barrister, it was an interesting week. Of course, you agree with it. Well, we were seeing logistic, when the House of the logistic with tickets, plus for INEC, of course, the arrival, time for arrival, and the disbursement of sensitive materials with tickets for INEC, security with tickets for INEC. But then, let's even bring this to your fore right now. Looking at the Electoral Act that was signed recently by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the recently concluded election, how will you assess the election in line with the Electoral Act?
Okay, well, I must first of all commend the INEC for a very good job done this last Saturday. There was, like you said, you have ticked a lot of goods for them, and I agree with you on that area. Security, time for arrival, and all that, they have done so well, and everything went so well, and I commend them. And also, I must commend the players themselves, the political parties and their candidates. From the beginning of the electioneering campaign period that was lifted, was it October or November last year? All through the campaign time, we didn't hear any issue of violence among the parties. We never had any issues of fighting or whatever. They conducted themselves so maturely, and I give them thumbs up for that, all of them. For that, having said that, coming to the area of how well it was organized by ANEC, I said kudos to them. That's all I can say for now. Kudos.
In line with the Electoral Act.
The Electoral Act, which
well, I understand also, Barrister, that the Electoral Act recently signed, assented to by Mr. President, has not been gazetted, but yet it is the yardstick for the recently concluded election. At this point, even for this election, we are seeing two different acts being used for this election. The 2022 Act being used as a practical tool for the election, because we saw where the whole electoral process prior to when the electoral timetable was released as at November was the 2022 Electoral Act. What brought in some of the candidates was the 2022 Electoral Act, and what was eventually used for as the yardstick for even determining the election now becomes the 2026 Electoral Act. With all of this in place, can we say that this election is free? Is it credible at this point from a legal standpoint?
From my observation and all that, I'm a player in the system. I'm a player in F.C.T politics. Since 1999, I've been in this politics of F.C.T. I can tell you, this election was free and fair. Coming to the general elections, I'm not talking about.
Let's talk about the credibility of it.
Quite credible,
based on the legal act in itself.
I want to also let you know that the 2022 Electoral Act immediately amended and consented and signed into an act by the president becomes the law in place. So you don't refer back to the one that was still there. It has been signed, and it's the law that has.
Even though it has not been gazetted,
it becomes law immediately. The president signed it. It's the law that must be applied.
And despite the fact that the retrogressiveness of that particular act, when it has to do with what determined.
What was even the retrogressiveness?
Let's talk about what was the retrogressiveness. Let's look at a lot of the real-time transmission,
yes.
which we've seen so far. A lot of Nigerians have been able to react to the real-time transmission of that. Of results that they want real time. Of course, you agree with me that INEC so far in the recently F.C.T election, we saw where results were not even uploaded in real time. It took 6 hours for INEC to be able to upload results across various local council areas. Now when we look at all of this play out, can we say that the act being passed is credible for elections?
Yes, we have to maybe interrogate the reason for the delay in it being uploaded. That is what you should be saying. What was the reason, so that it can be improved upon? But if it was actually later uploaded and there was no complaint from the various parties, I think it's credible. The only problem or things that should be looked at now is what was the reason behind the delay? Because if you say real-time transmission, it transmitted, it goes straight into the, but collation of the results from the World Collation Center to the AMAC Collation Center, and final collation to be for the results to be announced, that is where you have the little bit of delays here and there. But the reason for this real-time transmission is after the collation from the World Collation Center, because when you bring all the results from the polling units down to the World Collation Center, and a place you have like 200 polling units, 150 polling units, it takes time to put all these results together and calculate and put them together. It takes time. Then from there, you move the ward. You have 12 wards in F.C.T. You move them to Caro, where you have Caro site, where you have the AMAC Collation.
You mean AMAC?
AMAC Collation Center. I'm talking about AMAC now.
Yeah.
Using AMAC as an example for the remaining 6 area councils. You now take it there. All this, it takes hours to be done. It's not something that the computer just and computer does. No, you take your time. All agents and supervisors or all political parties are there. Security agents are there. Everybody is there to watch and see how it is done. And haven't been done in the world. Everybody moves with that result together to the collation center of the area council. There it is finally collated and results announced. So those things don't take just 1-2 hours.
Oh, all right. Well, Barrister, interestingly, we witnessed a situation where a lot of persons, councillors, let's not say persons, that are even seeking for electoral positions, did not find their names on the ballots right now. Doesn't this speak doom for the 2027 election, where governors will not even find their name? And also their registration will not even show even on the day of elections.
If you say so, I have not seen, I have not heard.
Well,
I've not seen, I've not heard.
We followed through
I
on
want
that
to get
conversation in Gwagwalada. We followed through on that conversation also in.
When you ask me a question, I'll be glad to let you answer. All right,
please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I would like to get one councillor that will come and say, I went to vote, I'm a candidate, I didn't see my name. I want to see one, please. It's not about somebody alleging things that they cannot prove. Because I want, if you didn't see your name on that day, I won't put the blame on you. Because weeks before then, voters register and all that is displayed. People are asked to please go to your voting polling units and check for your names. And if your name is not there, weeks or days to election, you didn't correct, you didn't find out, go to see why. And you wait until election day, and then after election, you begin to complain, to get a reason to say that results were not credible. These are things that happens. It's just looking for a reason to discredit a result. If I'm a candidate and I didn't vote, and vote comes out, and I'm declared winner, will I complain? It's when I'm not declared winner, I begin to find reasons to look for one thing or the other that made me to lose. I want to get one person, a councillor like you said, that will come out and say, on the day of election, I came to vote, they didn't allow me to vote because they say my name is not there. I want to get one person.
Well, but Barrister, interestingly, this election, a lot of persons will say, was marred with a lot of vote buying right now. And the new Electoral Act is supposed to correct all of this abnormally. But then, looking at the vote buying rate right now in the F.C.T election, how would you quickly react to this?
Well, again, it's almost like a recurring phenomenon in Nigerian politics, vote buying. But you need to also be able to prove that you saw. And
but no need to prove. I was in the field on Saturday, just close to the office, and I experienced firsthand vote buying. So it's not something you prove the whole of Garki, we literally saw vote buying occurring. We saw also in Gwagwalada, where our correspondent was on the field live. He was even telling us, just watch what is going on at the back where vote buying was occurring. Now, I'm giving you two instances. So I'm not trying to say that there is a yes say on vote buying. I'm telling you firsthand that I witnessed vote buying just here at the Garki.
I'm not
also my correspondent in Gwagwalada also. So when you say you were yet to, I just
started by saying,
I just want to just put that record.
I started by saying that it's a recurring phenomenon, even in presidential election. The one that they just did in Anambra. It's on video. Everybody saw where they were sharing it. I said it's a recurring phenomenon. The
Electoral Act is supposed to correct all of this.
Yes,
but then
what we have to start looking at is what punishments or who does it, because as it's going on, there are security agents there. The other parties that seem to be being bought off should report, tell the security agents there, look at what is going on there, arrest these people. But if that was not done and nothing happened, I know that is busy conducting the election. Even if later you bring because as we are busy conducting the election, are we to get the INEC? I'm not INEC now. Are they to stand up?
I thought you were.
No. I'm just saying. Assuming I'm INEC, is the INEC supposed to stand up and leave what they do and stop going after those who are selling and buying vote? You can report your case later on and document, if possible, use it as a case to invalidate the vote in that ward or in that polling unit as a candidate. Put forward your reason and probably go to court, showing that one of the rules were violated or there's a breach of the Electoral Act, vote buying, which is a ground for you to nullify an election or an election in a particular polling unit. So that's what you can do, but not to keep putting all these things on INEC.
All right. Let's move away from INEC at this point. Do you think that godfatherism played a major factor for the winners that emerge in this election?
I can tell you very well that there are reasons for all what happened in elections that took place. You know, the godfatherism of play must play. And although it's not so common in F.C.T, godfatherism. But what happened is that the elections were free and fair. Winners emerged and losers emerged. There are reasons. You see, the F.C.T politics is local. This particular election is quite local. When I mean local, it is just the area council elections only. And so the number one, you should know that the people are not too interested in these area council elections, especially in the city centers. And so the players who are there, especially the people who are already seated, know the truth of where to go to source for their votes. They know where to source for their votes. They know that the city centers where you have the bulk of vote, they are not so much interested in this particular vote. And to get it right, you should know that the indigenes who are majorly the area council chairmen, from Ahmad to Gwagwalada to Kuje, they are most of them are area council and they are indigenes of the place. And they realize that they must, and they put their people together and canvassed and worked hard for it, and realized that if they don't quickly begin to work on securing their place, their local environments where they live, what happened to them in 2023 might happen again, where Mekwunye Jiba, who is an indigene, a baggy man, who was the House of Reps member representing them in Amak Buhari constituency, was swept off. And Chinedu Bika took over, who is now the House of Reps. The Senator Philip Aruda, who is an indigene, a baggy man, who was the senator, was swept off. And King they took over, who is an indigene. So they have to come together and say, look, we must be careful, because if you, and with the assistance of the Honorable Minister, who I call the propeller. When you call him Godfather, I say he's a propeller. He sat down, you should know him. Well, from the moment he came in, he gave marching order when he was also giving a marching order by the president that he needs to deliver F.C.T to to APC to avoid what almost denied the president of his victory. Because you know that 25% that the president did not get in F.C.T. almost caused him a problem, because if not that the Supreme Court find a way of putting it together, it would have almost nullified the election, because he didn't get 25% of F.C.T. as the constitution stated that you must. He did it. And so he came and said, Minister of F.C.T, you must deliver F.C.T to APC. However you do it, I don't care. And he went into work, and he quickly told all the area council chairman, I mean the minister now, the area council chairman, well, we are working together. I didn't elect you. I mean, I didn't appoint you. You were elected. But I will not work in your favor if you do not decamp from your parties to APC. Decamp to APC, and I'll see how I can propel you. And he did. Now, when most of them agreed to him and decamp to APC, he propelled them. What do I mean by propelling? Funding, one. You know, he's a rugged politician. He knows what to do. They start going to where matters, who they need to get votes from, and those, and early to begin to woo them to their side. So most of the people that voted were easily wooed to those to the side of the people who are on seat. It's not as if there was much rigging, no rigging at all.
Well, it's interesting to know that Wike now has a new name called the Propeller.
Yeah,
given to him by Barrister Joseph Mekwunye.
A rugged politician.
We will extend that name, and we would also do a baptism for Wike, because he has been given a new name, the Propeller, a political propeller.
The F.C.T.
F.C.T. Political propeller.
You'll be surprised what happened in F.C.T. is going to replicate in River State. You ask me what happened.
What?
You don't have PDP APC anymore. What you have now is PD APC. Like they said, you know why? Last minute, the PDP chairmanship candidate of AMAC stepped down for the APC man. A chairmanship candidate that was being tipped to even win. They said, look, and he did. Kotsi Wike.
Kotsi Propeller.
Kotsi the Propeller. And don't be surprised, that's what will happen in River State.
Well, we'll see how far that plays out. But then, Barrister, there are a lot of things to talk about, even on about the elections. But I made signal right now it's time for us to go. I want to say thank you so much for finding our time to be with us here on Correro.
Thank you.
Well, viewer, if you're watching us on any part of the world, I want to say thank you so much for staying with us still at this point in time. Don't forget that you can follow us across all our social media handle currently showing on your screen. You can also download the Rapid TV app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. My name is Godwin Sunday. Do enjoy the rest of your night rest. Bye for now.